Good Tuesday, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Conversation Daily News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again. We, of course, have your news headlines coming up on this Tuesday. We have the truth of the day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and in today's Entertainment Spotlight, you've been part of my conversation with Marco Arce of Plynk, discussing the easy way to get into investing. Enjoy today's broadcast. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with your Tuesday headlines. In international news, Mariupol mayor says siege has killed more than 10,000 civilians. The mayor of the Ukrainian port city of Mariupol said on Monday that more than 10,000 civilians have died in the Russian siege of his city, and that the death toll could surpass 20,000, with corpses that were carpeted throughout the streets. Speaking by phone on Monday to the Associated Press, the mayor of Mariupol also said Russian forces brought mobile cremation equipment to Mariupol to dispose of the bodies, and he accused Russian forces of refusing to allow humanitarian convoys into the city in an attempt to conceal the carnage. Russian forces have taken many bodies to a huge shopping center where there were storage facilities and refrigerators, the mayor said. Mobile crematoriums have arrived in the form of trucks. You open it and there is a pipe inside, and these bodies are burned, he said. The mayor's comments emerged as Russia claimed that it destroyed several Ukrainian air defense systems in what appeared to be a renewed push to gain air superiority and take out weapons Kyiv has described as crucial ahead of its expected broad new offensive in the east. In one strike, Moscow said it hit 4 S-300 launchers near the central city that had been provided by a European country it did not name. Slovakia gave Ukraine just such a system last week, but denied it had been destroyed. Russia previously reported 2 strikes on similar systems in other areas. The failure to win full control of Ukraine's skies has hampered Moscow's ability to provide air cover for troops on the ground, limiting their advances and likely exposing them to greater losses. With their offensive in many parts of the country stopped, Russian forces have relied increasingly on bombarding cities, a strategy that has left many urban areas flattened and killed thousands of people. Ukrainian authorities accuse Russian forces of committing atrocities, including a massacre in one city outside Kyiv, airstrikes on hospitals, and a missile attack that killed at least 57 people last week at a train station. In Bucha on Monday, the work of exhuming bodies from a mass grave in a courtyard resumed. In Mariupol, about 120,000 civilians are in dire need of food, water, warmth, and communications, the mayor of the city said. Meanwhile, the UN Children's Agency said that nearly 2/3 of all Ukrainian children have fled their homes in the 6 weeks since Russia's invasion began. The United Nations has verified that 142 children have been killed and 229 have been injured, though the numbers are likely much higher. In national news, Biden aims at ghost gun violence with new federal rule. President Joe Biden on Monday took fresh aim at ghost guns, the privately made firearms without serial numbers that are increasingly cropping up in violent crimes, as he struggles to break past gun control opposition to address firearm deaths. Speaking at the White House, Biden highlighted the Justice Department's work to finalize new regulations to crack down on ghost guns and announced the nomination of someone who served as a U.S. attorney in Ohio to run the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosive. Law enforcement is sounding the alarm, Biden said of ghost guns, briefly holding one up for cameras to see in the Rose Garden. Our communities are paying the price. He promised the new regulations would save lives. Still, the announcement on guns highlight the limits of Biden's influence to push a sweeping congressional overhaul of the nation's firearm laws in response to both a recent surge in violent crime and continued mass shootings. Congress is deadlocked on legislative proposals to reform gun laws for a decade, and executive actions have faced stiff headwinds in federal courts. In more national news, once a retail giant, Kmart nears extinction after closure. The familiar sights and sounds are still there: the scuffed and faded floor tiles, the relentless beige-on-beige color scheme, the toddlers' clothes and refrigerators, and pretty much everything in between. Many of the shelves are bare, though at the Kmart in New Jersey, picked over by bargain hunters as the store prepares to close its doors for good on April the 16th. Once it shutters, the number of Kmarts in the United States, once well over 2,000, will be down to 3 in the continental U.S. and a handful of stores elsewhere, according to multiple reports, in a retail world now dominated by Walmart, Target, and Amazon. And finally, in business news, stocks fall on Wall Street, led by slump in tech companies. Technology companies led a broad slide for stocks on Wall Street, and bond yields rose again on Monday as investors look ahead to the upcoming company earnings reporting season and what it will reveal about the impact inflation is having on corporate profits. The S&P 500 fell 1.7%, adding to its recent losses. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell 1.2%, and the tech-heavy NASDAQ slid 2.2%. Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. It's now time for the Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich. Mary Ellen, take it away.
Hi, this is Mary Ellen with your Truth of the Day. Move toward your goal. First, you must define your goal, as you cannot move towards something until you know where or what it is. There are no limits to your dreams or goals. The whole world is out there just waiting for you to begin. If you are not sure of your goals, sit down and make a list. Be sure this list is appropriate for what you want to accomplish. Keep your list where you can focus on it. Some of your goals may take longer to complete, while others may be simple at-home tasks. As you accomplish a goal, mark it off your list and reward yourself in some way. Your larger goals and dreams will need a plan in order to succeed. The very moment you begin moving toward your goal, you become successful. Any goal to benefit others resonates at a higher frequency and will open up wondrous possibilities for more success. Today, know where you are going, stay alert, do the work, and move forward as you enjoy the day.
We have part of my conversation coming up with Marco Arce of Plynk in today's Entertainment Spotlight. Stay with us, you're listening to Conversation Daily News. For Conversation Daily News, I'm Cyrus Webb with the Entertainment Spotlight. Marco Arce of Plynk Investments joined me on Conversations Live, the radio show, to talk about those who may be thinking about investing but haven't taken the steps. Here's a bit of our conversation. Why are so many people, Marco, interested in investing but not actually taking the steps to invest?
Yeah, a lot of Americans postpone investing due to personal financial setbacks, but the reality is we're just not set up for success. I wish my schools had taught me about personal finance or that my family could have walked me through investing, but it just wasn't a reality. My dad didn't start investing until he was in his 50s. My grandmother never did it because she was too afraid. So we knew that we needed to provide a no experience required investment app for these folks. And the best part is they can learn along the way, build confidence, and get started with as little as $1.
I love that, and I love the no experience part, Marco. I'm sure our audience will appreciate that as well. So how can anyone start investing, and what's the best place for them to get started?
Yeah, so ultimately, as you know, April is Financial Literacy Month, and for many of us, what that means is financial independence. It doesn't matter who you are, where you came from. All of us have goals. Whether it is buying a house or traveling the world or taking care of our families, at Plynk, we had to ask ourselves, how can we make a difference and empower these folks with those goals? So we created tools like Plynk Think, which allow people to follow a learn while doing approach while building confidence. Or we also have an offer called Earn While You Learn, where people can get a $22 investment match, and all they have to do is make an investment, read an article, make an investment, and they can qualify for the $22. Now, terms and conditions do apply, and they're on the website, but we understand that the perfect time for people to invest may never come, which is why it was vital for us to help them get started today, regardless of any setbacks or circumstances they may be dealing with.
Cyrus Webb, Conversations Daily News. We thank you all for tuning into this edition of Conversation Daily News. Prepare to get on tomorrow's more news, Truth of the Day with Mary Ellen Ciganovich, and of course your Entertainment Spotlight. Until then, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversation Daily News today. Let's make today amazing. Take care.